On today's lifestyle edition of Innovate, you can talk on your mobile while riding your motorbike with a Bluetooth helmet. Unique and exotic cloud forests are under threat from climate change and logging industries. You can now create your own unique music CD while sipping coffee at Starbucks. And robots have finally taken over the home. The mobile phone revolution has taken the world by storm, but driving while talking on the mobile has become a contentious issue. Now, a motorcycle helmet with a built-in headset for mobile phones has been unveiled in Germany. US communications giant Motorola teamed up with an Italian design agency to develop the device. The idea came about after motor scooter drivers were seen putting their cell phones inside their helmets to talk as they drive. The helmet works with any cell phone that has a Bluetooth interface. That is, technology that can link the headset and phone without cables. The design lets a motorcyclist remove the adapter from the helmet so it can be used or recharged away from the vehicle. Momo Design, a Milan-based company, devised a motorcycle helmet to show off the new device, styled on the helmets used by jet fighter pilots. But the adapter will also be available as a kit that can be used on almost any helmet. The new helmet was devised after bans were made in Europe on using mobile phones when driving. There have been concerns that drivers using cell phones, even with hands-free sets, may not be giving their full attention to the dangers on the road. Cambridge University's Innovation Centre is pushing technological boundaries in the quest for scientific breakthroughs. While UK scientists have always been at the forefront of innovative development, they now need to move their ideas from the laboratory to the marketplace. WebKit have been developing a computer system to help 11 to 12-year-olds widen their powers of reasoning and persuasion. Another invention comes from Receiver, who have been developing the world's first wireless, portable internet radio, giving listeners access to stations around the globe. Meanwhile, Cambridge Innov has used cutting-edge computer 3D models using information about colour, texture and shape of objects that could benefit the medical industry. It's hoped innovation centres like the one at Cambridge University will be the springboard to launch UK scientific development to become successful products and businesses of the future. These are not buildings you'd expect to see on the outskirts of suburban London. They're a striking change from the rows of brick buildings that sprawl throughout the city. But there's more to this development than just looks. It's designed to be environmentally sustainable, using a range of technologies to cut down on every type of waste. The unique design is due to architect Bill Dunster, who tested many of the techniques when he built his own home several years ago. Now he has offices in London, where he's working to develop the concepts further. Not many developments can claim to have their own power station. Solar cells on the village roofs and windows supplement a modified diesel generator that turns wood chips into electricity. Since the wood chips are waste from growing woodlands, it produces electricity and heat for water without adding to net carbon emissions that could worsen climate change. The distinctive cowls are part of a heat exchange system that warms fresh air as it's ducted into the houses below, and the roofs are heavily insulated and topped with plants for bird life. This village is just the first stage of a global plan. The first comprehensive study of the world's exotic cloud forests has revealed that these unique environments are under threat from climate change and farming industries. Cloud forests are typically made of moss-covered trees that cloak many of the world's mountain ranges. They are not just regions of outstanding beauty, but also act as freshwater storehouses for towns and cities across Asia, Africa and South America. The report concludes that there is 20% less cloud forests in the world than previously thought. They are at serious risk from global warming and logging, particularly in Asia and South America, where land is cleared for farming-intensive crops. Highlighting the need to protect remaining cloud forests, the report claims that millions of people in the developing world will lose their only source of fresh water if cloud forests continue to decline. Covering less than 2.5% of the world's tropical rainforests, cloud forests are unique, fragile and irreplaceable, producing freshwater reservoirs for wildlife and millions of people in the developing world. At Birmingham University, engineers are urgently working towards a sustainable alternative to fossil-based fuels. They are concentrating on hydrogen, and their research work is aimed at how to create a safe hydrogen storage infrastructure. Many scientists and engineers are already convinced that hydrogen is the fuel of the future. It is considered a clean fuel and has minimal impact on the environment, with its only emissions being water vapour. While there have been plentiful supplies of natural gas and oil, the environmental differences are huge. 9 major cities in Europe, including London, are currently taking part in trials for hydrogen-powered buses. It's a continuing project that brings together more than 40 international organisations, concerned not only with public transport, but also cleaner, more efficient forms of power. The Very chip is an implantable computer chip about the size of a grain of rice used for storing medical information. The dormant chip contains no medical records itself, just a security code. Doctors can use the code to access a database that holds the patient's medical information, including allergies and prior treatment. The electronic database, not the chip, would be updated after each visit. But privacy advocates fear the technology could undermine confidentiality or be used to track a patient's movements. Applied Digital Solutions, the company behind the chip, have acknowledged that the technology could be used for other purposes, including security. The World Wildlife Fund has released its new Living Planet report with a strict warning that humans are threatening the planet's fauna and flora with extinction. The report shows that the high quality of life maintained by man is a danger to almost all animal populations. Some of the data has been calculated from the so-called Living Planet Index. This index reveals that from 1970 to 2000, populations of terrestrial and marine species dropped by 30%, while freshwater populations decreased by an amazing 50%. This drop has been attributed to the increasing human demand for food, fibre, energy and water. The Living Planet report examined the consequences of human consumption, ranging from commercial fishing in Hungary to polluted rivers in Kenya. It also researched climate change, which can be affected by either natural phenomena or human activity. It is a well-discussed topic, with environmentalists repeatedly warning in recent times against the dangers of global warming. The study showed that people in wealthier nations are consuming more resources than ever before, and it is unclear how long the current levels of human consumption can last before the planet is considered incapable of being able to support other ecosystems and life forms. Courtney Brown takes her son to school every day. But not every parent has that option, and you can hardly blame them for worrying, which is why schools are looking for ways to protect their children. The newest idea comes from Tokyo. Fourth graders at this school carry tiny short-range wireless transmitters in their backpacks. When they walk through the school's gates, sensors pick up the radio frequency and log it onto a central computer. An alarm sounds when someone enters without a tag. Once the central computer has recorded the arrival of a pupil, it generates and sends a short email to the parent's mobile phone or computer, telling them that their child has arrived safely. And at the end of the day, the same thing happens in reverse. So far, the Tokyo experiment is going well. Shannon lives in the heart of the Australian outback, kilometres away from the nearest shop or school. She and her brother's only way of attending primary school is at a virtual classroom at the School of the Air. A year ago, her classes were dramatically changed after the school swapped antiquated radio sets for cutting-edge satellite technology. As Shannon logs onto the internet and switches on her microphone, she joins 13 other classmates for a lesson. She can see her teacher and the coursework, despite being over 200 kilometres away. The government gave each student's family $9,000 worth of equipment, including a satellite dish, scanner and digital camera. This enabled data, audio and visual feeds to be sent from the School of the Air studio to the children's home and back again. School of the Air is free to Northern Territory residents, but only 30 of the school's 120 students are Indigenous. These primary school children are attending a circus training workshop to improve their focus. While they do attend school, Aboriginal children have a poor school attendance rate nationally. As a result, the government is planning a controversial new welfare system for Aborigines, which is reported to include financial sanctions for parents who do not send their children to school. The plan has been met with a mixed response. After many years of tinkering in the shed, a Chinese farmer has invented a range of robots made from recycled materials. The robots, or Five Sons as they are known in the village on the outskirts of Beijing, each have a special skill. One can dance, one can jump, another can run and chase away curious children. There is also a robot that can walk on walls and ceilings, but the newest creation is the favourite because it can do housework. The 1.5 metre high gadget is a concoction of gears and cables wrapped in a flowery green skirt. Guided by remote control, the robot can pick up things and carry them around, click on a lighter and screw in a light bulb, as well as a myriad of other menial household tasks. The creator of the robots never finished primary school, but has made more than 20 machines since 1995. Japan's economy may be slowing down, but its innovators are not. They had the chance to show off their wares at an exhibition of robotic and cutting-edge gadgets held at London's Science Museum. Paro, the therapeutic leisure robot, experiences human emotions, shows pleasure and drops off to sleep. The display previewed the homes, the pets and the cars of the future. Toyota exhibited a driverless car. It may be more than 10 years away, but the company is on the road to making it a possibility. Visitors at the show could also sit in a smart car equipped with sensors programmed to detect bumps in the road. And while you sat back and enjoyed the ride, Monet, the mobile networking system, beams traffic information, weather forecasts, road maps, music and email into the car's futuristic cockpit. Japan, gateway to the future, showed the country's latest products to facilitate and entertain our daily lives. Japan's love affair with robotics is world known. The exhibition hoped to bridge the gap not only between humans and technology, but also between cultures. Everyone who lives in America or Europe knows the Starbucks chain of coffee shops. Starbucks have grown successful on the craze of digital espressos, the opportunity to surf the internet while sipping coffee. Many Starbucks coffee shops now offer wireless networking too, so customers can use their laptops without plugging in. Now, Starbucks are introducing another innovation to keep their customers interested, the Hear Music Media Bar. The idea is that customers select music tracks from the coffee shop's library and compile them onto a compact disc to take away. The media bar consists of headphones and a touch screen with a stylus. Using the stylus, customers select music to listen to by touching the screen. If they like the track, they can select it for recording on a CD. Starbucks have a catalogue of more than 150,000 songs for customers to choose from, and they say the service is so quick customers can burn a compact disc while their coffee is brewing. It's all part of the digital revolution, which has already transformed the way we work. Now it's changing our leisure. Though for some, a good conversation over a cup of coffee is all they want. With more than 2,000 exhibitors showcasing the year's hottest products and technologies, the annual Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas is the country's biggest technology trade fair. The latest theme to hit the shelves is convergence, which means setting several technologies into one single product. It has created a world where televisions merge with music and video games, and entire entertainment systems are built to fit every type of modern lifestyle. With consumer electronics and the digital entertainment industry now worth over $100 billion in the US each year, corporations are eager to increase their role in people's everyday lives. Mobile phones have had another major facelift, now being promoted as cameras and music players. The home phone has also been updated with a television screen as well. There were the usual gadgets on display too, where height was no issue to becoming a basketball star. Or for the less athletic, the Quizmaster provides the ultimate brain teaser. Are robots to be part of the next musical trend? The League of Electronic Musical Urban Robots hopes so. The group is based in Brooklyn, New York, and consists of a group of artists and technologists developing robotic musical instruments. Founded in 2000, their philosophy is to build robotic instruments that play themselves. The Guitar Bot and a variety of percussion instruments have performed around the country and have definite advantages over a pair of human hands. In general, the robots can play faster than humans with more rhythmic accuracy. The Guitar Bot is a 4-string slide guitar. Each string is independent, so it can play intervals and complex rhythms between the strings that humans can't. But despite their reliability, musical robots are unlikely to take the place of living, breathing artists anytime soon. Have you ever been curious about what happened to those friends and pals at school? If you live in Britain, you may be able to find out by logging onto the Friends Reunited website. The system works quite simply and costs just $10 in subscription charges per year. To register your name, you advise of your email address, name and school, and then you immediately appear against your old school. You can then find out if other people have registered on the site and then get in contact with them. To date, some 5 million users have registered on the scheme. The success of the business is due to its simplicity and universal appeal. Part of the problem when the dot-com bubble burst was that many of the sites which folded were too niche-based. The website's creator receives positive feedback from happily reunited friends each week. He is considering offering up worldwide franchises for the business in the near future. Day after day, man-made pollution is becoming one of the biggest threats to the future of Earth. The burning of fossil fuel in road transport, heavy industry and power plants produces nitrogen dioxide. Too much NO2 causes lung damage and respiratory problems. The gas is also a key ingredient for the production of ozone in the lower atmosphere, which is a main cause of urban air pollution in hot summers. For the last 2.5 years, the satellite Envisat has been observing the Earth with 10 different instruments on board. These instruments monitor the oceans, ice caps, land and atmosphere and provide crucial information to observe and understand our environment. One of these instruments is the Scanning Imaging Absorption Spectrometer. The instrument's primary mission is to measure trace gases in the atmosphere. It monitors the entire planet within 6 days, with a precision never attained before. Maps show the complete NO2 pollution in the world, as well as the precise location of the emission. This would be impossible without the spectrometer. The sensors take pictures like a digital camera, but in contrast to normal pictures, which have 3 colours, the spectrometer takes colour images with about 8,000 different colours, representing a very large amount of information. It also measures sunlight after it's been reflected by the Earth. Until now, scientists could identify different sources of NO2, for example emission by ships or by lightning, but uncertainties still exist. Satellite data is a great help in reducing these uncertainties. Locating sources of air pollution on a global scale has been difficult, but now the satellite can monitor the planet continuously, giving an overview of what's happening to our atmosphere. Plans have been outlined for a strategic review of Britain's rail network. Delegates converged at the National Rail Conference in London, where they were told the railways had to change for an effective and efficient UK rail service. With an $85 million investment in Britain's railways and the network carrying over 1 billion passengers a year, the importance of introducing measures to bring about a better service in Britain was paramount. The head of the organisation charged with overseeing the UK rail network stressed that any new structural measures made must be matched by other important changes. It's felt that if both the government and industry work hand in hand over the rail review, Britain will get the national rail service it needs and deserves. Man the toolmaker is rapidly becoming man the robot user. A study has found that 800,000 household robots are in use around the world. There are robots that mow the grass and goggle-eyed multilingual automations that are used to guide visitors around the Palais des Nations in Geneva. And then there is this scurrying robot, which is one of several that can vacuum the carpet. Vacuuming is the #1 use of domestic robots today, with around 95% sold for that use. Robots can be fun too, although there's a suspicion that they can't wait for your back to be turned so they can do something worthy around the house. The report from the United Nations Economic Commission showed the worldwide investment in industrial robots has increased by 19%, the highest level ever recorded. Of course, robots that clean the house are only one variation. Already there are robots that amuse and educate the children, robots that patrol buildings, even robots that deliver the mail. Soon they'll be able to make their own decisions, and we won't be needed at all. Well, that's it for our lifestyle edition. We hope you join us next time on Innovate.